All right, fam. What's up? Welcome to another episode of Gaming Mundo. Um, so Sony just yesterday announced the price point on um, the PlayStation 5. We have two versions of the PlayStation 5, the PS5, and that is going to be the one that accepts your physical disc, which they're just calling the PlayStation 5 or the PS5, and then they have the version that's digital only, so it can't actually accept. Um, Hello, Fernando. So it can't actually accept the disc. You can't put the disc into the PS5 digital version. So that's very important to note. Me personally, I prefer a version that can accept the disc, the physical copies. The reason being, sometimes they're actually on sale. I know some people say, but it doesn't matter because you still have to download a bunch of the game files to the system, so it eats up the memory anyway. It's not really just about the memory. Obviously, there are some content that stay disk only, but then there's a lot of the content which you still need to have downloaded to the system. But it really that helps more for like load times and stuff like that. So in any event, the price points are for the one that accepts the disc that you can actually put a disc into is $499. That's going to be the retail on that, and $399 for the digital only. Okay, now they unveiled this yesterday, and within hours, it seems that it well, one, the websites were having issues. Apparently, from what I was reading, was Walmart and GameStop pretty much jumped the gun. They were supposed to actually hold off till today to start selling. Today being the 17th, yesterday the 16th, they started selling, so that forced other retailers to start selling as well. Um, so it looks like they've also had issues with the companies have had issues with their servers. So I can tell you right now, I haven't been able to get a copy myself. I don't have one reserved. It's really rare actually for me because I've almost always had all of the PlayStations on launch day. So I'm going to continue to check. And now, one of the things that I've been told, and I can actually say, my brother Fernando actually, he was able to get one. I think he said through Best Buy, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. Through Best Buy, he was pretty much just refreshing it over and over, and was actually finally got the buy now button or add to cart or whatever it pops up as. Um, so it's really about reloading. I've read in some on some websites that GameStop, same thing, that they're actually still coming in. I've heard similar things about Walmart. Target apparently has been sold out completely from their first wave, but apparently GameStop is not sold through its first wave. And I've also been told and also read that Amazon actually hasn't started selling them. I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't actually um, read that anybody actually got one um, through um, Amazon. So I haven't seen anybody that actually says that they've actually purchased one through Amazon. So if there's anybody out there that has gotten one through Amazon, go ahead and let us know. But from my what my sources tell me is we don't actually the Amazon hasn't started selling them yet, so they haven't put them online. So let's stay tuned for that. Now I did also want to go over the specs just so that people now both versions are going to be identical from what I'm understanding, from what I've been told. They're both going to be identical. The only difference being one accepts a physical disc, the other one is digital games only, so only digital content. you can only download. So it's kind of like how like most PC, PC gamers switch to all digital. Like if you look at my gaming PC, which I have right here, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm streaming this live through. Um, I don't have anywhere you can put physical multimedia, right? I don't have a disk drive. I don't have any of those uh, types of interfaces, right? I don't have the 3.5 floppy, although I think that was put out years and years ago. But from my understanding, like, a lot of people are trying to go in that direction. I'm glad that Sony hasn't completely done away with the physical copies, that they're still actually going to be putting out the physical copies. Because like I say, I mean, hey, if someone's done with the game, they can actually return it to the store, sell it back, get a little bit of money back for it, and then the next buyer can actually go ahead and do that. So otherwise, there would be no way to really, unless you can sell physical copies and your your ownership rights to it, there's no way to kind of give back something that you're not going to play anymore, and for somebody to maybe buy it secondhand at a cheaper rate. So I'm very glad that Sony decided to at least keep that around, at least for the PlayStation 5. Now let's get into some specs. So when we're talking about the specs, I'm going to compare a lot of these to the PS4 Pro and the PS4. But as far as the CPU goes, um, they're all running 8 cores, right? Um, just the PS4 was running at 1.6 gigahertz, PS4 Pro at 2.1 gigahertz, and the PS5 is now going to be running at 3.5 gigahertz. So not quite double the speed, but you're getting, I would say, almost 50% more. Yeah, actually over 50% more than what the PS4 Pro was running, right? Now, as far as the GPU, we have a big jump here. So for the PS5, it's 10.28 teraflops, 36 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz. So just to put this in perspective, the PS4 Pro was 4.2 teraflops. So we have over double that, 36 CUs at 911 megahertz. So it wasn't even at a gigahertz yet. And we're at 2.23 gigahertz now. The PS4 was far below that, still at 800 megahertz, but only at 1.84 teraflops, 18, so half the CUs. So we're seeing a big jump in the GPU, the graphics interface, right? So the graphics interface is going to take a big leap forward. And when we get into memory, we have double the memory. So for the PS4 and PS4 Pro, you're running 8 gigabytes of GDDR5. We're actually up to GDDR6 now. All right. So the PS4 Pro added 1 gigabyte of DDR3. But here with the PS5, we're running 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, okay, and 256 bit. Memory bandwidth, really, it's just how fast it can transfer data, and you're getting a little over double the speed at 448 gigabytes per second. That's the memory bandwidth. Internal storage, we went from 500 gigabytes on the PS4, 1 terabyte on the PS4 Pro, and now we're actually only at 800. Let me just double check here. 825. Okay, 825 gigabytes. But there's a big difference. The PS4 and PS4 Pro, we're still on an HDD, right? So we're talking about a hard disk drive that we're talking spinning disks, right? So if it falls, if it drops, those are going to essentially be done. With a strong enough drop, it'll kill your hard drive, and you just lost all of your data, right? Now, obviously, the good thing is whatever's on your PSN network, you can still re-download that, right? It's in your library. But now with the PS5, we've moved into SSD. So that's probably why they had to take it down just a notch, take it down to 8.2, 125 gigabytes as opposed to the terabyte drive. But we're in SSD now, so we have a solid state drive, so no spinning disks. I mean, that thing can kind of rattle around in there a little bit if it's not secured, and it would be fine. I mean, I've seen it. I've actually done it. Um, so I think that's actually a big step up because you're going to have faster loading times with an SSD. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, if we take into account, for instance, years ago when we really didn't have solid state drives as kind of like a standard, our PCs would take how many minutes to load up? Sometimes you could turn your computer on, you could walk away, go brush your teeth, go make your coffee, and when you come back, maybe it was at the startup screen, trying to log in. And then after you put your password in, it would take another while where, like, the right next to the cursor, you had the spinning circle, right? Um, Me personally, still thinking get PS5 digital. Me personally, I would go the extra $100 and get the one that accepts the physical discs, but that's me. Dat Striker, really, that's a preference. I'm not an Xbox guy, to be honest with you. I had Xbox back in the day, the original Xbox. I had it more for Halo than anything else. That was like my go-to game on the Xbox, but I'm probably not going to opt for the Series S. I'm probably just gonna stick to Sony. Um, I've always had a better feel for the Sony PlayStation systems. On top of that, I've also realized that their systems outperform the Xbox systems most of the time. Not only that, they also have higher durability, as far as what I've read and what I've seen. So I would opt for, if I was going to go with the lower priced options, I'd go for the PS5 myself. Um, yeah, absolutely. Spider-Man is definitely something that I'm waiting for myself, because I thought the last Spider-Man game was amazing. I played through the entire thing. Demon Souls, I'm not sure. I I'm not for a lot of those type of games, but as far as Spider-Man, Miles Morales, I'm really looking forward to that one. But um, so moving back to, so solid state drive is going to obviously speed up load times. It's going to speed up everything, that all the processes that the PlayStation's going to have to interact with the CPU as well. Sorry, with its storage, to CPU to storage, it's going to be a lot faster. So we're going to get faster load times and stuff like that, which is fantastic. I think that's a great way to go. So apparently, we also have an expandable storage as well, a slot for an extra SSD. So somebody could opt for that, high 4 terabyte. You can also get the HDD support, but that's gonna, I think, be limited to the PS4 games if you're going to be using an extra HDD. Um, I don't know what it's gonna. I hope it's gonna be quiet, somewhat quiet. But you're probably always gonna get, if you have the digital version, I could expect it to be very quiet, except for when the fans are spinning at a higher rate on the GPU to cool down the system. Other than that, it should be pretty good. Um, uh, Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to see all that myself. Um, but yeah, so 4K obviously, as opposed to what the just standard 1080 that the PS4 had. So we have 4K capability now. There's talks of potentially being ready for 8K as well, for the future. Um, but again, so we'll get back into, has anybody, have you actually, do you know anybody who's actually gotten a hold of a copy, that striker, of the pre-order on any of these systems? Because I mean, honestly speaking, it's been a thing, and I have my iPad here trying to continue on multiple websites trying to get it, and I can't get it to pop up. I'm definitely going to get the PS5 with the disk drive. As I explained a little while ago, the reason for that is because one, I know it's not going to save a lot of storage space due to everything that the game content that needs to be on the system itself, but um, it keeps things alive for like secondhand gaming. So you can sometimes get copies of games at a cheaper rate, or get them like on eBay, or any platform where you can get something used. Um, awesome. That's getting it right away. Awesome. So yeah, so that's why I want the physical copy one. I want to have the drive so that I can always, and it's me, like, there's a nostalgia to it about having my copies of games. Like, I have my little like bookshelf type thing with all my games set up that I bought. And then when there's certain games that I know I'm never going to play again, I find that nice that you can actually go and take it back, and they can give you some credit for the next game that you're going to buy. So you take sometimes like 5 or 6 games, and you can get a brand new game that's one of the AAA titles. So that's kind of why I want to go with the physical copy as well. So I'm on here and I'm going over and over. Um, yeah, yeah. Next year, I mean, the prices just keep getting higher. I mean, I thought that really when the Switch games started coming out, and they're like this big, and they cost, I mean, obviously I know the size really isn't what you're paying for, but something this big costs like 60-70 bucks. It's getting a little crazy. And then when they come out with like those, the collector edition, you're getting stuff that's like priced over like 150 bucks for a game that costs $50 or $60 in store. So like, just the game, I find that a little excessive, because I haven't really seen that a lot of those collector's edition items go for crazy amounts of money. If it were something where there's like a really big market for it, I could understand that. I think really a lot of that stuff is more like a kind of nostalgia kind of thing, where really these people are buying these collector's bundles for the little extra, knickknacks, but you're probably not going to really resell those knickknacks. I mean, I have the Persona, what was it, Persona 3, and I did get the collector's edition just because it was actually cheaper at the moment. Um, for that was a PS3 title, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and I had that. I've looked, and it doesn't go for much at all. Like the little art book and stuff like that. Um, so really, yeah, I don't agree with um, the whole the limited bundles, the with all the extra stuff that they bring with like the figurines and all that stuff. I think it's all nonsense. I wouldn't pay for that. If maybe there was like just extra digital content, whether there's skins and stuff like that I understand, but not when they price it so high. So I try to stick to really just buying the games as they are. Me as an old school gamer, um, really, I play games for the game itself. So like a game like Fortnite, which I'm not super huge on. I play it because my kids play it and we all play together sometimes. But I got like one battle pass. Um, so I get the battle pass every time, but it's with the same V-Bucks. So I don't really have to spend more money because I'm not about spending money to make my character look a certain way, because it really doesn't change the outcome of the game really in any way. So um, I play a game for the gameplay itself, not really for the extras, if that makes sense. I think a lot of that stuff is really um, no, getting PS5 for Fortnite. I hope not. I play Fortnite on my PC. Um, Actually, my daughter has her account on my PS4, but that's not what anybody should be getting the PlayStation for. That's funny though. No, I'm actually more of a PC gamer now, but I do, as far as consoles concerned, I'm a PlayStation guy. I was introduced to like Tomb Raider, to Resident Evil, Kingdom Hearts, all on PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid, one of my favorite series, and God of War. All these I played on Sony platform. And if we go even further back in the day, Crash Bandicoot, I definitely was introduced to that on the PlayStation. I was introduced to Crash on the PlayStation. Um, what's your also, I mean, The Last of Us, a great exclusive title, right? So um, what's some of your guys' favorite exclusive Sony titles or Xbox? Let me know in the comments. But here I am, I'm really right now trying to get, hopefully, get this little red button that says buy now, because like I'm going to like GameStop. I'm going to Best Buy online. I can't find it. My brother says he just kept refreshing, and it eventually popped up. It appears that it's still not available at Amazon. So, like I said, it looks like it's not actually been sold yet at Amazon. So they probably still have their entire stock. Um, so throughout this day, we're going to have to check. More than anything, I would probably say on Amazon. But hey, it doesn't hurt to keep checking with the the Best Buy, because my brother said he got it through Best Buy. So it doesn't hurt to go ahead and check over and over on there. Um, I'm actually, anybody into retro gaming. I'm into retro gaming. I'm just getting emulators again on my PC. Um, wow, see, 8 p.m. Yeah, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that, Ryan. I mean, thanks for pointing that out, because I was at my parents' house. Yesterday was my son's birthday, so I was at my parents' house and I was hanging out with my brother, and we were looking at this stuff on the PS5. And when I was leaving, I literally got into the car. They had already done the unveiling of the price and everything. And my wife says, "Are they pre-selling it yet?" And my kids were in the back, and like they were getting all rowdy because we were about to be on our way home and we were gonna watch the Mulan movie together, and they were getting so rowdy that I was just like, you know what, I'll check when we get home. Bad move. I got home, kind of forgot about it. I was my wife in the background actually peeking in. And I completely missed out on it, because actually later, after the Mulan movie, I was on GameStop.com and I saw the button, and when I hit it, it started loading all weird. So I backed out of it and went back in, which I think was probably a bad move. And all of a sudden, gone. It said it wasn't available anymore. So that was my kind of foul up. But wow, 14 million PS5 units for pre-order so far. Jeez. So is that like what the stock is supposed to be? Is that like how many copies they're putting out, or is that how many have been pre-ordered? Can you verify that for me? Goes up. Goes up. Yeah. We'll talk about it in a second. So as you see, he's actually playing Fortnite. He plays it on a Switch. Um, but okay, so as a whole, that's what they have as a whole. Okay, is that worldwide? I wonder if that's worldwide. Because if that's worldwide, that's. I almost feel like that's not enough. I wish that was just for the U.S. But it's nuts. I mean, it really it was in a matter of seconds. I kid you not. You think U.S. Okay. So Patrick, it looks like um, what I've heard, what my sources have told me is Amazon has not actually started selling it yet. I've been trying to find through sources to see if anybody knows of anybody who bought it through Amazon. I have somebody who bought it through Best Buy. My brother bought it through Best Buy. He got it at about 2 o'clock in the morning. I have somebody who um, said they what time was it? Somebody I think said they got it at like 2 in the morning. Somebody else got it. I read somebody got it at like was it 6 in the morning. Um, and I don't remember if that was GameStop or if it was also Best Buy. But I've also been checking the Walmart site because apparently Walmart they're they said they've been like coming in and out. So I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's a system issue or if it's the fact that um, maybe they're getting more copies and putting them out, or maybe they're just randomly putting them out there just to kind of give everybody a chance. Because if they would have put all of them out last night, that doesn't really give a lot of the East Coast people as much of a chance. Or maybe, I guess, if it was that early, maybe it actually gave the East Coast people more of a chance. Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, they're going to keep making them. So I always like to get the first versions, and it's funny because somebody mentioned to me and said they don't like to get the first version because there's bugs. Well, I've had the first version of the original PlayStation, the PS2, the PS3, and the PS4. So all PlayStations I've had the first version because I've gotten it close enough to launch time. Um, Actually, no, I've gotten them all at launch. Actually, the first PlayStation, I don't think I got at launch, but I did get the first version of it. From the second to the fourth, got them all at launch, and I've never had bugs. Like I've never had like to me those have been really typically the more better engineered ones because I've seen people like my friend actually was just over here the other day with his PS4. He bought one of the later versions, and I think it was actually the Pro. Um, yeah, it was the Pro, and he's having issues with it. So I don't know if there's a difference in when they try to bring down the price. I think they also try to cut costs, obviously, to be able to sell it for cheaper, right? So I always try to get the launch version because I feel like that one's always the best engineered version. It's the one that they spend the most time and the most money on. So I think that's probably the way to go. That's the way I like to go. Um, oh well, there's yeah. See, I just don't like the slimmer versions because I feel like they're made cheaper. You know what I mean? And it makes sense for them to be able to sell it at a good price because typically the older models are also the ones that are easier to jailbreak. Um, because like the PS3, the Slim, there's actually no way to jailbreak it. I had one that was jailbroken. I had a jailbroken version and a not jailbroken version. Um, but both were the original, not the Slims, the Fat Boys. And the Slim, actually, my nephew has it, and the only way to do the slim jailbreak is through, it's kind of like weird. It's like you have to do something online at the moment, and it like jailbreaks it while it's running, and then once it turns off and turns back on again, you have to do it over again. So every time that you want to do it, you have to do it over again. I forget what they call it. There's a name for it though. But yeah, I just, me personally though, like I said, I'm gonna try to stick to the launch version. So hopefully I can get it. Hopefully you guys can too. I'm actually gonna cut this short because I am gonna have to go to work in just a little while, unfortunately. But I'll have my wife pressing that refresh button. Everybody out there who's trying to get one, I urge you all to continue hitting that refresh button. Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, and even Walmart. Check all of them out constantly. If you have more than one device, use more than one device to check out the website and keep hitting that refresh button. And we can hopefully we can all get a version of it. And hopefully I can be playing and streaming here soon enough on PS5, hopefully around November 12th. Okay, so 11/12 is release. So thank you everybody for watching. You guys have a great and blessed day. Happy gaming. All right, guys.